Good afternoon, folks. Nice afternoon today for a bit of detecting. Using the old gold max here upon the downs. I've just had a bit of a piece of bronze down here that's really interesting. I think it might be Anglo-Scandinavian, probably about 11th century. I'll get a close-up lens up on there and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Never seen anything like it before. When I get back I'll show you, clean him up, and I'll show you a couple of other bits I found up here as well. Some really fascinating objects have come from here. Catch you in a minute. There he is, look. A little bit of bronze. I've never seen anything like this before. Almost made me jump to start with, because if you look, the front end of it looks a little bit like a rather scary beetle of some description, but that looks like the shape it could have been. It's a really solid piece of bronze. About nearly 2 inches long, but I don't think I'll benefit from putting the close-up lens on too much, but let's have a quick look. Maybe, yeah, look at that, look. That shows you some pretty good detail, if you see what I'm talking about. Never seen anything like that before. It looks Anglo-Scandinavian because it's got like a foliate decoration on there. As I say, it possibly for some sort of a mount with a piece of cord which might have gone through there, possibly horse furniture, probably almost certainly something belonging to a bridle, I'm guessing, because people do find the bridle mounts from the same period, but never seen anything like that. When I get back, I'll clean him up, and I'll show you the other couple of bits I found up here, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. There's some very unusual metalwork coming up from these fields. It's on a right high spot on the downs, and there was a few Anglo-Saxon burials found by the woods. So is it possible that there are burials up here as well? Give them a quick wash and brush up. Never found anything like this before. It clearly is of some great age because it's a copper alloy object, but it's got a very thick patina and a little bit of verdigris on there. But as you can see, it looked a bit like a beetle when I found it, but it's got like a foliate decoration on the shoulder there and a flower. This looks like something from the 11th century. It's got that sort of feel to it, but that is an interesting find alone. But when you take it into consideration with the other finds that I found there over the years, this one I found it. I must confess I didn't know what it was initially, but I took it to show some expert, and they seemed to think that it was a silver ferrule off a walking stick or something similar, but I have showed it to a few other bodies, and they come to the conclusion that it could be a finger ring. This was declared as treasure back in 2010. As you can see, it's a gold mount of some description. The top end has suffered a bit of damage, so it's lived in this plastic box since I got it back from the museum. As you can see, it's got 2010 T562 treasure case, and as you can see, it's been 6 years. It was the first gold object I found, and it's lived in this box ever since, but it was the first gold object I found with the Gold Max power, and so I couldn't believe it when I found it. I'd been over that field before, and I found these other objects I just showed you, and I'm getting to have a closer look at him. There we are. I don't think I've shown it with all the dirt washed off, because obviously when I declared it, I basically dug it up and shoved it in that plastic box, and it went dirt and all to the Old British Museum. They couldn't find a parallel for it, so basically they said to me, well, it could be modern, so eventually I had it back. It was declared declared not treasure, so I got to have it back, which was a good thing really, because as you can see, it's a very nice find. As I say, it's a bit fragile, and I tend to keep it in the box, but the top is very blank on the back, but see, it's obviously had a bit of prang at some point. But I believe it's a plaque or a mount that may have lived on a strap end at some point, because if you go to the Ashmolean Museum, they do have something of a very similar nature, and that was dated at Anglo-Saxon 10th, 11th century. And also in the Treasure Hunting magazine, I did find a ring with similar decoration, with the pellets and the interlace in there. It's typical late Anglo-Saxon, or indeed it could be even Anglo-Scandinavian. So it's coffin shaped and complete, and I suppose arguably some people say, well, it could possibly be a Roman find, but I don't know. It's a beautiful little object, and as I say, it was the Goldmax Power. It cracked it out of the ground. It was like on edge. It was quite a fine sort of gold object, but needless to say, I was chuffed a bit. As you can say, nobody could identify it, so with the advent of YouTube, I resorted to just making a few videos, and hopefully somebody will recognise it for me. See, it was probably pierced in antiquity for later reuse, but originally I do believe it came from a Saxon strap end personally, but as yet to be proven, and if you know any different, please get in touch. Meanwhile, it has to live back in its plastic box. Thank you for watching.